All right, welcome to Two Deans No Waiting. My name's Dean.
And my name is Dean.
We want to get right into it. I am very upset right now. Netanyahu has started to bomb Gaza again. He stopped the ceasefire, and he's just starting to just indiscriminately carpet bomb Gaza. He has killed 400 people so far that we know of.
And not to mention another probably 52, maybe even 100,000 the last year and a half.
Oh, yeah. I really don't. I don't have the numbers, but I'm sure it's astronomical. It really doesn't matter. He's just killing people. He's former Mossad, right?
Yes.
I think he has a genuine personal hatred towards the Palestinians.
That's what it seems like.
I mean, there's nobody wants to work towards a two country solution, two-state solution, I think they're calling it, right? Yeah. Nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to do anything but kill. And I'm not saying that this is the feeling of the Israeli people either. I think it's him.
A lot of people in Israel don't even like him.
Right, yeah. I think it's him. And
he's a Zionist. He's a Zionist.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
A lot of our tax dollars are going over there. This really upsets me. And this is no shot at Trump. Biden was allowing it as well.
Of course. That doesn't change. That doesn't change.
For some reason,
Israel does whatever the hell they want.
For some reason, we are married to Israel, I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't understand it. If Israel is attacked, do they deserve to have someone help out? Absolutely. But this is, I mean, these people were taken hostage, and I understand you've got to do something. But okay, but
I as far as and I get what I totally feel your passion, man, because this has it hasn't stopped since 1948. And you talk about Hamas, like I said before on the show, Hamas is a political organization created by Mossad.
Right.
The Israeli intelligence created Hamas in the 80s to counter the PLO. They created their own nemesis the way the CIA created the Mujahideen, who became Al-Qaeda, became the Taliban, who's ISIS now in charge of Syria, formerly known as Prince. How many times they changed the name?
Right.
It's the same ideology. And this is what? Okay, the Israeli government, American government, foreign policy sucks. It's not about nation building. It's about dividing everything up, destroying everything, and that's what they're doing in the Middle East. And I totally agree with you. This is wrong.
Yeah.
He's killing, 500 more innocent people? Who cares? He's already killed another, 50,000 has it been? And yet people on these Christian stations, oh my God, go back to what I said weeks ago on TBN and what's there. How can you call yourself a Christian, brother? How can you call yourself a Christian and you're letting Christians die? Right. 40% of Palestinians are Orthodox. They're Christian. They've been there for centuries. They've been kicked out of the land that's theirs.
Not only that, you're just not supposed to kill. This is horrible.
I get
Every time I bring up "Thou shalt not kill," you know what I get? Usually,
what's that?
Well, he didn't mean armies and that. He meant, and I'm like, did he?
It sounds a lot like
he meant
Madeleine Albright. Remember Madeleine Albright?
Yeah, Madeleine Albright.
They killed 500 people. Well, we thought it was necessary. Remember they asked that question?
Yeah.
You're dropping bombs on birthday parties and weddings. You're killing 500 innocent people just to get 3 terrorists. Well, it's called collateral damage.
Here,
We're going back to the age of paranoia. I wanted to talk about this on our show.
Yeah.
The word terrorism's been coming up lately.
Yeah.
Let's not go back to 2004, 2006, 2007 during the Bush-Cheney crime syndicate. Please, the conservatives, if you're listening, you have a chance to change things. Change the mindset. I did like when J.D. Vance went over into Russia or went over into Europe and told the Europeans that Russia's not our enemy. Okay, the Middle East is not our enemy either. Okay, and
no one should be our enemy.
And I've talked to governments all over the world. Quit creating your own nemesis and taking it out on innocent people.
We should not even be having enemies. We should be talking to every country we can.
There should be dialogue.
To have strong allies with them and try and just keep peace. This is ridiculous. Now, yeah, let me ask you this, Dean. Do you think Israel can defend itself?
against Palestine? Who can't? That's like you going over to the fourth grade and picking a fight on a fourth grade. Well, he might beat you up, but okay. So let's say a third grader. Okay, you starting a fight with a third grader and beating him up. You're like, and then you bragging about it. This is exactly what Israel's doing. Palestine doesn't even have a fucking army.
There's no army.
Hey,
right?
Here's something. Let's make a deterrent. Since every country almost in the world has nuclear weapons, you know, how long does it take to build nuclear weapons? I'm sick of hearing this. Yeah. Iran's going to build a nuclear weapon. Iran's going to... How long does it take to build a fucking nuclear weapon?
They would have had one by now.
They probably already have one. I don't care. That's called a deterrent. Ask the Indians and the Pakistanis. They both have nuclear weapons. Yeah. Maybe Palestine should have an army.
Well, maybe.
There you go. That's called a deterrent. Maybe that's what they need to stop this ridiculousness.
Well, they're not going to be able to build one right now because they're killing their people.
They're going from village to village killing people back when all this started.
Right.
This was on all over the internet. It went viral. Mm-hmm. If people would look this up, man, it would be hard to find now. But I seen actual videos that people send to me of villages were being wiped out.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing.
The Israeli government killing innocent Palestinians.
So I think Israel can defend itself against one country. So if, let's say Iran invaded them by themselves, I think Israel can defend themselves. Egypt, they did that with Egypt before, with the 6 Day War and all that other crap. But anyways, why are we carpet bombing Yemen? Because the Houthis attacked some Israeli ships that were over there.
Everything in the Middle East right now has to do with Israel.
But why are we doing it? Our tax dollars are going towards this. We're carpet bombing these people. Once again, well, we're going after Houthis. Well, you know what? You're killing women and children in the process. Collateral damage once again. Yeah. This is horrible. Do we not have special forces to go after these Houthis? Do we not have does Israel not have special forces to go after the Mossad? Or Hamas?
I wish they go after Mossad.
I'm just saying this is insanity. This is craziness. We should not be killing each other on this world. We need to work together. We need to start talking to these people. We have to have dialogue, or this is what it comes to. This is horrible.
And I see that.
And I don't know why Christians are not outraged. This is killing women and children.
It's killing Christians too. And then they sit there and say that, we're pro-Christian, pro-Christian. Well, I haven't heard any of those voices say anything about ISIS now, who's in charge of Syria. They're killing innocent Christians.
I thought that was Taliban.
ISIS. I'm sorry.
Is it the same thing?
It's the same.
It's the same but different?
It's ISIS, formerly known as, they changed the name. It's the same ideology.
All right.
Okay, we were funding ISIS in Syria to take out Assad. Mm-hmm. Now who's in charge? Assad wasn't the real bad guy.
Well, he was a bad guy.
Well, compared to ISIS and them? Right. He's like Santa Claus.
Well,
now who's in charge of Syria? But it goes back to what you were saying. They're killing Christians.
They're killing Christians too. They're killing people. This is horrible.
Now that the West
There's a civil war there too.
And Russia was protecting Assad. Now that Russia backed down and said, do whatever the fuck you want. And I said this was going to happen. The killing fields have started. They don't care. No. So I listen to these Christian shows, and they always support Israel. You're supporting a country that doesn't believe in Jesus.
They blindly.
They don't believe in Jesus.
They blindly follow whatever Israel says. They support Israel no matter what.
We gotta support Israel no matter what.
Yeah,
no matter what, we just gotta support them. Give all our money. Israel can drop a bomb on the Middle East and kill 80% of the people, and they can justify for it by saying whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, this is just wrong. Okay, and then once again, I'm also talking about my own government. Bombing Yemen. There's no reason for us to do that. Like I said, if Israel has problems, they can solve them. So apparently, I don't understand why we're married to Israel like this. This is horrible.
It's this thing called lobbyists. It's this thing called money.
This is
it's
horrible.
This thing called extortion. There's a lot of things involved there.
Yeah, it's just sad.
It's a lot of it is linked to a lot of the Zionists that are in charge. And AIPAC we talked about. Mm-hmm. AIPAC is a big lobby. They got big money and they support. Their foreign policy.
All I want is for the killing to stop. I don't understand how this is so hard. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I never will.
So many things happening right now, and
just sad.
It goes to what I wanted to talk about, which is there's no ceasefire in Ukraine either.
No,
seems like both sides are going at it.
This
Here's
is
another thing. What you said last week? What a mess! Oh,
Yeah,
what
it's
a
a
big
mess,
mess!
my
It's like
goodness.
starting a fire you can't put out.
okay. So it's like lighting a. When I was in the Navy, if a plane caught fire, you can't put that out. As a matter of fact, you have to jettison it off the side, and it continues to
into the
burn.
water.
And it continues to burn while it's in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's you just cannot put that out.
And that's what seems
And
to
that's
be
what's going on. Absolutely.
And like I said before, there won't be any cease agreement or ceasefire if two sides, if one side is still doing the same thing they were doing when the other administration was in charge. It's not stopping. Putin's not going to stop. Of course, the European Union, they just got a boner for war. I mean, what's going on with Macron and all these other leaders? And now he's talking about having the UN. And then when Trump talks about peace soldiers? Or he talks about having basically soldiers on the ground in Ukraine.
Oh yeah, I don't want that.
No, because
absolutely
that's going to
not.
escalate the issue.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the left is trying to brainwash the American people thinking that Putin and Trump are on the same team. I got news for you. They're not. They're adversaries. They're more adversaries than you think. I know they're trying to do something, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think. I thought that this.
I think something is going to happen.
Well, you're talking bad, not good.
Oh no. No, I think. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to happen between Trump and Putin. They are friends.
I don't think they are. I don't.
I think
and there's no ceasefire, so that tells me they're not friends.
Well, Putin wants certain things, and he's just waiting.
Of course,
He's playing the waiting game.
But so does America. You think America's in there for free?
Well, no, but Trump will capitulate. I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time.
I thought things would stop because I know that Syria, to me, has a lot to do with Ukraine and Russia backing out of Syria, which was a big move, saying, "Hey, put whoever you want in charge," and you see who's in charge.
I actually
killing
was shocked
Christians.
that happened.
I
didn't think Putin was going to come out of Syria at all.
Because I know he was protecting Assad for 12 fucking years.
Yeah.
There must have been a big deal.
Something happened.
Maybe they backstabbed him, man. Maybe they.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing on that, though.
Why would they pull out?
Well,
they pull out like a sailor on a weekend pass, man. You should know a lot about that.
I don't know what
Memories.
happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened there because Assad is now in Moscow. No.
Assad is being protected by Russia.
Okay. Well, then why would they protect him? If
The same way the Shah was
Yeah.
protected by the United States after they took him out.
But
Remember
he
that?
but he didn't backstab us.
Well,
se.
Well, no, he was a dictator, but
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I'm just saying there was a protection there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there is, but
you're right. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think they backstabbed him somehow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They can't because they took him.
But look, America's been backstabbing countries for oh my God. Look what we
yeah.
did. Like forget Putin. Back when Gorbachev and the agreement was that NATO wouldn't take over old Russian territory. Look where the fuck it's at right now.
Oh, I know it. Well, once again, we
Look at
both
the
agree
honest-
on this, where they need to just NATO should have been dissolved in 1989.
And you know what? And I got a feeling they're not going to pull out. It's going to stay there, and they're going to continue to do what they're doing. I mean,
It's just
I just hope this thing doesn't spiral out of control.
horrible.
Into something bigger. I hope there isn't. I mean, they're bombing oil fields right now, both sides. Ukraine's bombing Russia. Russia's bombing Ukraine.
Yeah,
it hasn't
with
stopped.
drones. With drones, by the way.
So much for the I'm gonna stop this war in 24 hours. That ain't happening. No, that ain't happened. But
Well, he says a lot of things that doesn't happen. So, and unfortunately, he says a lot of things that do happen.
Look, man, I'm critical. I want to try to believe, but I what do I see is different? I mean, except the tax tariffs.
Right.
I guess domestically there are changes, but as far as foreign policy, don't. I mean, okay, they're talking, which is a step in the right direction. It's better than the last administration, but it's still happening. The war hasn't stopped.
The wars are still going, and to me, he's the same as Biden as far as that goes. As far as foreign policy,
Well,
I can't see much difference.
The only difference is
He's talking to Putin, and he did take the oh my God, what are they called? Sanctions off of Russia. Thankfully.
Well, I think they're still on. I don't think there's...
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he took them off.
I think there's still $300 billion in European banks.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
that money's still sitting there. You don't hear about that, but I'm pretty sure Russia's pretty pissed.
Yeah, that's Russia's money.
I'd like to see somebody take American money and leave it in their banks. What do you think would happen?
Oh, I know what would happen.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's anything else you want to elaborate on the Middle East, I mean, we can talk.
Oh,
We'll have a
that could be
segue,
whole,
man.
yeah. No, let's move on.
Mossad.
Here's something interesting. ICE locked up some European tourists and kept them in jail for like a week. This is scary to me. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get rid of the illegal alien. I understand that. But I mean, if the guy he produces a passport and says, "No, I'm here visiting," I mean, what the? This is scary to me because I'm going to Germany next month.
Oh, right.
And
Guten Tag.
Oh yeah. Well, here's
Where is your visa?
Right. And I don't need that. I don't want people booing me in the streets or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, when I was over there, there were some times where they're like, USA #1.
And then they hate you. They either love you or hate you. It's one of the two.
What it is they're against our government.
Oh, who isn't?
They're against our government.
We are.
Right. And but unfortunately, it trickles down to us sometimes. And I don't want to get harassed when I'm over there or anything like that.
You're American. That's usually. I mean that.
I've never been to Europe, so I don't know. I could be.
You've been in the Navy and never been into Europe.
I joined the Navy.
That's like a porn star saying, "I've never gotten a blowjob."
This is what happened. I joined the Navy so I could see Europe and Australia. I really wanted to go to both of those places. I went everywhere but those two places.
Are you? That is crazy.
Yeah.
Because everybody I know that's been in the Navy is.
I've been all over
Europe, right?
All over Asia, all over.
That's crazy.
The Middle East,
been to Europe, but
yeah.
What
South America, Central America, Africa, just never hit Europe or Australia.
I get what you're saying. American foreign policy, like I said, sucks.
Yeah.
It sucked for a long time. We don't nation build. I wish we would isolate ourselves, but it like you said, that fire that started, and you can't put it out.
Put it out.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, and I still believe we're going into. There's a shift right now going on. Well, financially, and the Fed, which the head of the Fed, he needs head, buddy. These guys really get on my nerves, but I'll talk about them later. They're part of the problem, and
if you want to talk about them right now, you can.
Well, supposedly that and it's the central bank. I don't even like calling it. It's not the federal government. It's the central bank. It's a private institution, and it's the most powerful institution in the whole country. It's got the power to print money at any time and cause inflation and can cause deflation.
Raise rates, lower rates,
and raise my heart rate, for crying out loud.
This is crazy.
Because what they do, and I'll elaborate more later on talking about the central bank. They're not going anywhere. They're freaking still here.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to believe in him. I really do. But like I said with Kaz, when you were here, when Rick and we were talking, I have my moments where, and then I just wake up from realizing all the foreign policy stuff really hasn't changed, except the dialogue, which I like. But at the end of the day, I mean, what's going to happen?
I mean, he's talking, which is nice, but they're not doing anything.
Yeah, I know.
This is, what that reminds me of? It reminds me of how weak the Democrats are. My God.
Are they even still around?
Yeah, they're around. You know what it is?
They're horrible.
So they had a chance. They had Trump over a barrel, really, and the Republicans. That they could have said, "Hey, we want this, this, and this, or we're going to shut down. We'll shut down the government."
That's all bullshit. That's fear mongering. They never do they?
No, they don't do anything.
Well, that's why they haven't fucking won an election.
Oh, I know it, and I know why now. They even when they're not being weak, they appear to be weak. This is insane to me.
Who is the leader of the Democrats right now?
Schumer, Mr. Chuck.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
This one.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do whatever you want.
So they're going to lose the next election too if he's in charge. If he's the head of the Democrats. The Democrats need. Look, I said it before. I mean, we were talking. I think off air a while ago that the Democrats need their version of the Tea Party movement.
Yes, absolutely.
They need to break off the same way the Republicans supposedly broke off and then, intertwined later on. But
Right.
they make you at least believe that they're breaking off
Right.
from the Democratic establishment. They need somebody to come out and say, you know what? This is ridiculousness. Maybe move them a little closer to the center.
Yeah, that would be great.
As opposed to further on the other side of the
yeah,
map.
we don't want that.
They need to break off from this transgenderism. They need to break
All
off
this
from
woke crap.
This woke shit,
Yeah,
and not only that, the other thing that really gets me is this politically incorrectness.
Right.
They need to get away from that.
Yeah.
This, oh my
This is-
gosh.
yeah,
You
'cause they
can't
do.
say anything. You can't do anything.
Right.
Next thing you know, there'll be fucking thought crimes.
Right.
Who knows?
I know.
Nevertheless, they need somebody to come. They need a grassroots movement, the same way the Tea Party movement that started everything. Through the Tea Party movement, I really think you get Trump. Although the Tea Party movement was a good idea, it was grassroots. It was Ron Paul.
Yeah.
It was the Ron Paul movement in 2007, 2008. They were done with the Republicans and these endless wars, and the central bank and all the. They also were a part of they wanted the 9/11 truth movement.
Okay.
And until the Sarah Palins and the mainstream conservatives came in and destroyed it. And you know what else was kind of the last grassroots movement by the Democrats was the Occupy movement.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was a great movement.
Yeah.
What happened? It got derailed. by the establishment Democrats.
Right.
So the Democrats need to go back to the grassroots, man. They need to go back to the Kennedy Democrats.
This is where, right now, you've got these Republican Congress people having town halls, and you've got these angry Americans because they're afraid of their Medicaid being taken away, Medicare taken away, their Social Security being taken away, that kind of stuff. They're afraid right now. This is the Democrats' chance to pounce.
do it.
Do you know who's doing something?
Who?
Bernie Sanders. He's going around the country right now.
I was going around telling people not to vote for the criminal.
We're going to have some meetings. I'm going to have soup.
Gonna eat, then I'm gonna go home and pretend I'm not Jewish.
But here's the problem with that. He's an independent.
Yeah, I know.
He's not a Democrat. So what are the Democrats doing? Nothing.
He's the
They're
only
doing
one.
nothing.
No, they're
I don't understand.
They're screwed.
Yeah.
They're screwed. But then again, I mean, who's gonna run the Republicans after Trump's gone? He's serving one term and that's it.
Well,
J.D. Vance or J.D. Hogg?
See, here's the thing on that. See, this is J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio. These guys. Listen, I know you don't like them. I don't care for them either. But here's the thing.
If I had to pick between the two, I'd take my chances on J.D. Vance. I know, even though he's a product of Teal.
Well,
Marco Rubio is just he's
okay. But here's the thing, though.
he's establishment, man.
Right, he is establishment. That's what I'm getting at. He is a regular Republican.
Yes.
He is a Reaganite Republican. Whereas, and I think J.D. Vance was as well. But now, in order to keep their jobs, they're kissing Trump's butt.
Well, of course they all did.
I know.
Even though Rubio was like so against him, and remember when he first ran in 2016.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, that's politics.
Rubio
man.
called him names.
Right.
Said, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Exactly.
J.D. Vance called him Hitler. Said he's America's Hitler. I don't understand why the American public fell for this guy. To be honest with you, Trump. He's never had any political aspirations before. He never held office anywhere.
No,
I mean,
he popped out of nowhere like Obama.
Yeah,
Obama popped out of nowhere too.
Well, no, Obama did serve.
Well, he was 2004.
He was a senator. He was a senator at least.
He gave a speech. I remember at the Democratic National Convention. And I remember watching that thing. Oh, interesting. And then 4 years later, he becomes president. I mean, that's kind of like Carter came out. Well, Carter was a Rockefeller crony. Like I said, these guys are backed by somebody.
Yeah, I understand that.
They're backed by money, big money.
I understand that. But what I'm saying, though, is at least those people that you just mentioned all had some kind of a political background, even if it was a short one. They did serve in the Congress or governor, like Reagan.
Right.
Reagan was a governor.
He was governor for California,
Right.
then he became president.
Right. At least there was some type of background. There is nothing here for Trump. Nothing. That'd be like me being president tomorrow.
I truly believe, and I'm going to say something here. You're going to, of course, whatever we say is going to live on the internet forever, right? It goes in the internet outer space.
That's right.
I think we might see an independent become president the first time
I would
in
love
the next
that.
4 years.
I would love that. But
I think he'll be compromised. I think he'll come out, pretend, hey man, let's separate from both these parties. Gonna have great ideas, He looked like he's grassroots, and the next thing you know, he becomes president, and
They all
meet
get
the new boss,
compromised.
same as the old boss.
Yep.
So you might see an independent president. Because who's gonna after Trump? Who's gonna take over the Republican Party?
Right. And like I said, I don't think they're going to
It's
carry
gonna
on.
happen fast. It's gonna happen fast.
I don't think they'll carry on with what Trump was doing,
No.
with the way he does things and all that. I don't think they're going to do that.
In order for the Democrats to save themselves, they need a grassroots movement.
Right, absolutely.
They need a grassroots movement.
See-
and they need a Democratic Donald Trump.
Right.
That's going to come out and say, "You suck.
Yeah.
You suck.
Right.
The Clintons are corrupt."
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind. That's what we
Biden
need.
is corrupt.
Right.
The Democrats need something like that. I'm telling you, I'm not a political strategist, but if I were, this is what I'd say. We need somebody like that.
I think so too. And here's the thing: Trump does whatever he wants, even if it's wrong. He does.
And people love it.
They either love it or there's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so he sent those people to El Salvador. First he says, well, you're part of a Venezuelan gang, you got tattoos, you're going to El Salvador. Puts them on a plane. A federal judge finds out. What does he do? You turn that plane around. Here's Trump. They're already gone. Can't get them back.
He does what he wants.
Right,
Wait,
he
and
does
nobody
whatever he
says
wants.
it.
And then what does the Democrats do?
Nothing.
Nothing. That is the problem here.
But I'm telling you, they need somebody like a Trump that's going to come out and say, you know what? Eat a dick.
Yeah.
Sit down.
Right.
No.
We're not talking.
He's got to.
Yeah.
They got to come out and talk about how corrupted their party is.
Right.
Trump came out and he
said everybody was
said-
corrupt,
and he was
including the
right.
Republican Party.
And he
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
This
And-
is. I'm sorry, Democrats. That's what you need.
Yeah.
You need a realist.
Yes.
You need somebody that's going to come out and expose the corruption.
Right.
You can expose it from Biden to Obama to all the way back to the Clintons.
To senators that are serving now, to Congress people that are
Exactly.
serving
Schumer, you got to go.
now. Right.
Schumer,
Yeah.
you've been there too long.
You mean this guy?
Yeah, you're right.
President Trump, we could do something.
Right.
But, you go ahead and do
true
whatever you
Zionist,
want.
and by the way, he's related to Amy Schumer too.
Right. Well, I don't care about
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it's one big circle jerk.
that.
Trust me.
She's just not funny. She's just
No,
not.
well, she's not. She's like a
not.
train wreck.
I don't like her.
Nevertheless, though, I didn't want to talk about Amy Schumer, but I'm just saying they're related.
I'll talk about her.
But yeah, but which goes back to what I want to tell conservatives who are fans of Trump to beware, and okay, I don't really scared that in the media lately, I've been don't become the enemy. Okay, this is
Right.
what I feel Republicans are going to become everything they're fighting against the last 4 or 5 years. You're starting to do things that the left was doing, as far as like labels and using certain words. Like we're going back to terrorism,
Yeah.
but that's going back to the Bush-Cheney crime syndicate, right? Don't confuse the word terrorism for vandalism. I'm not agreeing with what's going on with the people destroying Tesla cars.
Oh
or
my
whatever,
God! What the hell is wrong
It's
with you?
vandalism. It's
Yeah.
not terrorism.
And it's not even his stuff
But-
anymore. When it goes to a dealership, that dealership owns it. You're destroying that guy's business.
But this is what the Republicans are doing a lot. What the left did, if you were protesting against the vaccine, they wanted to label you a domestic terrorist.
Right.
So now,
Yeah, that's not right either.
So now the right is doing this. They're using that word, and we're going back to the age of paranoia. I don't like that. I don't want to relive that part of my life where everybody's a fucking terrorist. Just like the
Right.
Red Scare,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everybody was a communist. Now
Right.
everybody's a terrorist, and nobody knows what it even freaking means.
Right.
If you vandalize, you're a vandalist.
Right.
Okay, it's vandalism.
Right.
Please don't. You have an opportunity to change the mindset.
If you don't like Musk, I don't like Musk, don't buy his cars. If you like him even worse, protest. Go on the sidewalk, go across the street from his dealerships,
Ain't that
and
fun?
have a sign. It's not that hard. That's all you need to do. You don't need to destroy things.
Ain't that funny though? The Democrats loved, the liberals loved Musk 6-7 years ago. Well,
yeah.
They're driving electric cars, and what
Oh
happened?
yeah, look at
Now all of a
that.
sudden he's the devil incarnate.
Because he's a billionaire and he is
He's always been a billionaire.
No, listen to me. He's a billionaire.
Always been a billionaire.
that bought the president.
Oh, geez, you think that's happened before?
Yes, but it's never been public.
That's
This
the
is the
weird
problem.
thing.
That's the weird thing, right?
But he is kind of a front guy too. Trust me, there's other people behind the scenes we don't see.
Well, I'm
the
just
paper they write.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
I want you to do this.
I know that. I know. Let me tell you
Read.
something. Though. All right. The
Okay.
drugs. Let's talk about the drugs.
Talk about the
drugs.
the drug cartels, the cartels
Cartels.
that
Well, the
are
CIA
governed
is
now.
the biggest cartel, I want to say.
Thank you very much.
Cartel in
Yes.
America.
Right.
That's what CIA stands for.
And so, actually, that's true. And there's a movie called Air America. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, I sure do.
It talks
Yeah.
about the Vietnam War was all about drugs too. Like I told you before.
Everything's
on the show.
about drugs.
Well, I mean,
Taliban was about drugs?
Everything, sure. But you know how like I said, the CIA was running that war out of Laos, a little country right next door to
Right.
Vietnam, and through the drug deals they were funding the Viet Cong to keep up the war effort. Now all of a sudden our government is scared of cartels. They hate competition. See, I don't drink the frickin' Kool-Aid.
Right.
I really don't. I know there's cartels. Okay, now all of a sudden they want us to. Is this a distraction? They want us to worry about drug cartels when who's got the C-130s? The C-130s. I don't know. Do Mexican drug lords own C-130s? I don't. Our government.
I don't think so.
Our government cartels has the CIA is cartel drugs in and out of this country for how long?
Yeah, years.
They
and years and
hate
years.
competition. They want to shut them down.
Well, like I
now all of
said-
a sudden it's become a thing in the it's a fancy word like terrorism, cartels. Ooh, it's the new boogeyman.
Right. But that's why I was so shocked when we legalized marijuana here in the United States.
It's kind of quasi legal. Cause it's more legal now than it's ever been.
Well, I'm just saying, I was shocked because they make so much money off of that with the cartels. I mean, come on, let's be honest and serious
Of
here.
course, Noriega was on the payroll, wasn't he?
Noriega was, and then
Ortega.
he did something that we didn't like. I don't know what he did. He probably said, "I'm not giving you your tribute money" or something of that nature. And so then we went down there and had to put him in jail.
Right. He sent the whole military, George Bush.
Yeah.
He was
Army.
working for Bush.
Right.
So was Ricky Ross.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. He was down there. He must have done something to piss Bush off, like
Listen,
not giving the tribute or whatever he's supposed to give to him. I don't know.
When the TV and the mainstream media talk about terrorism and talk about cartels, you pick that middle finger up and flip off that asshole who's reading from a teleprompter. And I wish you could call them or send them an email saying the biggest drug dealer is the CIA.
Yes.
Did they quit this all of a sudden?
Right.
Did they just give up and say, oh, we give up, we're not in this game?
They're not going to say anything.
In South Central Los Angeles, who was carteling all the drugs and they created the crack epidemic.
Yeah, that
Then
was
it went
CIA.
nation. Of course, they haven't stopped.
Meth.
I'm not worried about I'm more worried about the food we eat.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about the cancer.
Yeah.
They don't do anything about that. That's another distraction.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, I really get upset when they sit there and talk about the cartels. The cartels. Yeah, and I guarantee you most of these guys are on a freaking payroll.
Absolutely.
Just like the terrorists. Like I said, Hamas. Oh, Hamas is this evil organization that was created by Israel, but they can't stop it.
right.
Just pull the plug on the funding. That's all you got to do. Somebody's
funding them.
Somebody's
Who's funding the Hamas?
They have no clue.
Nope.
Let's kill the innocent people, like you said.
Yeah.
How about stop the funding?
Mossad has no idea who it is. Apparently,
They have
one of
no
the top
right.
security.
Right.
Oh, give me a break! Give me a break! One of the top. What are they called? Special forces. They're the top of everything, really, and they can't figure this out. They have no idea
Intelligence agencies.
They don't know who's doing it.
They
Now
have
with the Houthis, we know who's doing that. That's Iran.
Well, yeah, they are backing the Houthis.
Yes.
They're backing the Houthis the same way Israel's backing Hamas.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Hamas, I think, is being backed by someone else.
Yeah,
besides
but they
Israel.
can't stop. Well, Israel was the one that created it.
Well, I understand.
Now all
that,
of a
but-
sudden they can't stop their own monster.
I know. I don't get it either. But somebody's
You know,
funding them,
it's-
but we don't know who.
It's
apparently,
it's to they know who. You and I.
we don't know.
But they know.
yeah,
They
yeah.
want that fear, man. They love it.
Yeah.
They use fear to control society. They
Yeah,
do
it's
it all
crazy.
the time.
So there was a freed hostage and he was held by Hamas for 491 days.
How many? Now, let
He
me ask
weighed
you.
95 pounds.
I know people that weigh 95 pounds.
Yeah, but those are girls.
No, not really. Okay. Those are people that took Dr. Fauci's ouchie.
Those are fourth graders.
Okay, yeah, but
Anyway.
Okay. Let me ask you about this because maybe I'm oblivious to it. Because you and I agree that October 7th was an inside
horrible.
job.
No, oh yeah,
It was an inside job. They let it happen.
Yeah,
They let it
I
happen.
think so. Yes, absolutely.
There's no way that a bunch of goat herders invaded Israel with golf carts and a parachute.
Right?
I
That's
don't-
what happened.
I don't buy that.
I
And,
don't
and
either.
it took 10 hours for them to take down the fence.
The top. This
Are
once
you
again,
serious?
Once
And
again,
they had no idea this
Mossad
happened.
is the top intelligence agency. There's no way.
They let it happen as a pretext to do what they're doing.
Right.
Now, how many hostages supposedly were taking that day?
Oh, I don't know.
They never tell us.
Oh, they told us. No, that's in there.
How many? I want to know. Look this up. Because I'm going to tell you this is all bullshit. They're trying to tell you that there's 1,000 hostages. Palestine doesn't have an army. I mean, in World War II, when the Allies invaded frickin' Germany, they couldn't take 1,000 hostages. They could maybe because they had an army. How do you take that many hostages without a frickin' army?
Okay, let's see. This is saying. See, they're talking about freed hostages. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's the thing. And were those hostages from October 7th, or are we talking hostages that were hostages before then? See,
I'm not getting the right
I
information.
I think that's a part of the
Oh my goodness.
that's a part of the lie. I think that
Okay.
they're telling you that there's hostages.
They're saying, according to the Wall Street Journal,
okay.
they're saying that Hamas took around 250 hostages
They
from
took
Israel.
in October 7th.
Yeah,
So they took them all on golf carts
apparently.
Really?
And
Right.
then there's,
and parachutes.
let's see how many are left. They're
So,
saying-
so they went into Israel with parachutes and golf carts, paragliders, and they took over 300 people and brought them back.
250.
250 and brought them back.
Yep.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
I don't believe it.
Well, you don't have to. I'm just.
I know.
I'm just telling you what this says. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean.
I get it. And
So-
Netanyahu wrote
Okay,
that.
well, so it says here Hamas abducted some 250 people on August 7th, and they've killed more than 48,000 Palestinians afterwards. Most of which are women and children, have nothing to do with this.
That that number might even be higher.
Yeah, probably. This is just
Right.
so far the ones that are freed or died has been 137 have been freed and 4 have died in captivity. So there's 66 of them.
I'm not
left.
right. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, and neither are you for that one.
No,
That's ridiculous. But you have some other stuff here.
Yeah, I do. But no. What I was getting to is that freed hostage says, "Where's the UN? Where was the Red Cross? Why isn't anything happening with these people?"
Nothing.
I think the Red Cross and the UN were afraid to go in there because Netanyahu is just carpet bombing. That's my point. I mean, that's what I think. I have no idea.
Maybe because they're notorious. They
Yeah.
blew up hospitals, schools,
Yeah, they didn't care.
churches.
Well, there's tunnels underneath them.
right,
That's what I heard every time. Every time. Well, there's a tunnel there.
but they can't get the 100 members of Hamas. They can't find them.
No.
But they're killing it. Like it goes back
And they don't
to
know who's
collateral
funding
damage.
them. And they say they don't know who's
oh,
funding them.
jeez.
They have no idea.
Right, we got to move on.
All
from
right,
that
anyways.
because I'm getting nauseated.
Anyways, okay, so Trump is, well, the government is rounding up the illegals, whatever, and that's fine, I suppose. I guess they're not supposed to be here. I get it,
right,
but they kicked out the South African ambassador. Trump did, because he said for racism against the white minorities in his own country, the Afrikaners.
Oh, there are groups called Afrikaans.
Yes.
I dated actually a girl from South Africa, and I remember her telling me about that.
Yeah. Okay.
They're whites. They call them Afrikaans.
Right. What's her name? Charlize Theron. She's an Afrikaner. So anyways, he kicks him out, says he's racist. We don't want you here no more. And now he's looking to take in 64,000 refugees from South Africa. They're all white, Afrikaners.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's not a joke. And it is interesting. He wants to bring in more people in here from. Well, it's interesting. He wants to do it from Europe, and he wants to have white, or no, not Europe. He just wants white people here. Those should not be a problem. I just don't get that. What's the way of thinking on this?
I don't know. I haven't heard that.
That sounds racist to me.
Well, yeah, if that. But I mean, who is telling you this? Where are you getting this info from?
I got this from the Associated Press.
Oh, the Associated. Okay.
Also, I was on some other stuff too. Fox News had it.
Fox News had it?
Yeah. Look it up on Fox News. That's what I'm saying. I look at both. I don't look at just left-wing stuff.
Well, of course not.
Or mainstream.
They're going to totally, put a spin on it. I don't think he's a racist. I mean, there's a lot of things
Trump?
he is.
Trump?
Yeah.
You don't think he's a racist?
I don't think he's. I
think he's a little bit.
They said Obama was a racist. The other side said Obama hated white people.
He might have.
Trump hates black people. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know personally. I mean, when you always throw race in the mix, it's like using the word terrorism. It's like using the word communism back in the day. Or you just discredited somebody because you called him a communist in the 50s. How many people's careers were ruined?
Blackballed.
And now there were communists. There were some fractions of that were true. But if you wanted to ruin somebody, and nowadays you call him a racist.
Right. I don't want to call him a racist because I don't know him. But you have to go by some of his actions.
Yeah, can't elaborate on. So on that, I can't really defend him or debunk him or whatever. But I mean, they've been they're trying to connect him with Russiagate. That was all bullshit. That's all bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. Look at all his appointees. So we got what? Kash Patel, I think, is the only person of color.
Kash Patel.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Kash Patel. How are you?
Has there been anybody else?
I frequently go to there and buy 7-Eleven.
Most of his appointees are white women, attractive white women.
Nothing wrong with that, buddy. I don't want to look at Chairman Powell.
Chairman Mao?
Him either. But you got your asshole of the week. I think it's time for asshole of the week.
I don't.
You don't have an asshole of the week.
There's so many
that my asshole of the week is definitely Jerome Powell. He's the chairman of the Federal Reserves.
Okay.
I hate the whole Federal Reserves. They should go. You talk about an institution that's got to go. Mm-hmm. You talk about an institution that causes inflation, deflation. They are also responsible for causing bubbles. All these banks that go belly up, then, we get the banker bailout, right? All that money we give back to the banks causes inflation. Everything they've done causes inflation. The executive branch doesn't have the power to cut rates. That is Chairman Powell. And the reason why he's my asshole of the week is because he won't cut interest rates now because of the tax tariffs. The tax tariffs were implemented 2 fucking months ago. You could have cut rates 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. You didn't. Although they did cut rates before to all-time lows at like 0. But they cut rates for banks that can lend out money to each other with no risk. Then raise those rates, then these banks go belly up and go, oh, we need to bail this bank out. So yes, Jerome Powell, you're my asshole of the week. The Fed, you're my asshole of the week. And it's not the Fed. It's the central bank. Big problem.
Oh yeah. Well, since you brought that up, what have you heard about the crypto thievery?
You know what? You brought that up before, but go ahead, talk about that because I'll listen because I didn't hear much about that.
Well,
but okay, I mean it's happened before.
Well, okay. Well, what I'm saying is most people. I don't know if you're one of them. But most people that do the crypto, they're like, well, they can't steal it.
Oh, they can steal whatever. They can get in your bank account.
Okay, see, now I'm talking to somebody with a little bit of sense here. And they stole $150 million, I suppose, from this particular thing. You know what? Let me just look this up real quick. I think I already have it. But
I mean, it's happened before on some.
Oh, here it is.
On some exchanges.
This is scary. To me.
But Dean, they can get into your actual bank account and steal money too.
Well, I understand that, but
so what's the difference? But
Well,
it is scary.
well, I'm going to tell you what the difference is. The difference is if we're going towards this way, I was kind of like, well, if we do, at least they won't be able to get it. And that's not the truth here. That's not the case. The case is whoever wants to get this stuff, if they try hard enough, they're going to get it.
Depending on which exchange this happened on, some exchanges are possibly better than others. That's like some banks have better security than other banks.
Okay.
It's the same thing with crypto.
This one from, oh my goodness, I had it the other day too.
And you're right. It is scary.
Yeah.
It is scary because it's happened before. You know.
Right. But this was a huge. Okay, Bybit, BYBIT.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. I'm familiar with other.
They're saying that this one is a very popular big one. So
no kidding.
yeah, it was a routine transfer of Ethereum.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah,
I mean, that's not good.
No, it's not, and it's happened, and it'll probably happen again.
I know, and this is sad.
But that's why you can protect yourself by buying a ledger. Some people buy ledgers and put your stuff offline.
Okay.
So you can protect it.
All right.
Yeah.
These are things I don't know.
You could be proactive
Because
that way.
I don't have cryptocurrency.
It is scary.
But I don't want people to be
Of
to
course
get
not.
stolen. Their money is horrible.
So since you're talking about finance, gold has gone up again.
Oh, really?
$3,050 an ounce.
Where's silver?
Silver's still at 33.
Really?
Yeah, silver's a good
That's
buy.
odd.
I'm telling you.
That is odd.
Silver's going to go up. It's going to outperform gold, they say, in the next 3 to 5 years. So that's the next thing.
$33.51.
And gold is just
silver.
And gold is, I'm telling you, it's the sky should be falling, and there's a reason why gold is high. You keep an eye on the financial thing because something's going to happen for sure.
Wow.
You know.
Tesla's down at 246. Just went up a little bit. $10.
Wow. Well, maybe that's time to buy.
Oh
Time
yeah.
to buy Tesla. I don't know.
I love Tesla.
Yeah.
Tesla, he says.
Who says that?
Trump.
Tesla?
He said Tesla.
Maybe that's a new stock.
That's hilarious.
Palantir.
He's
That's
funny.
another one.
He is funny.
Oh yeah. So
But,
I mean, if there's anything else you want to bitch about before you go home and your wife tells you can't talk.
No, I have nothing else right now. Anyway.
So yeah, that would probably conclude our show for today.
Yep.
But definitely,
it was good.
Tell people that something's bound to happen. I think it's something in the financial thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely there's something huge brewing in the market, man, and I don't know if it's good.
And all the Christians out there, seriously, let's stop the killing. Let's get together. Let's stop it. We need to stop the killing. It's horrible.
Yeah. I mean,
It's just not right with me. I'm upset about
the
it.
Palestinians have been treated like shit since 1948, and the
Right.
people who you think you're backing, the Zionists are not Christian.
No, they're not Christian.
Zionism don't care about Judaism. They don't care about Islam. They don't care about Christians. They have an ideology, okay, and it's to take over the Middle East. And that's what they're slowly doing.
Well, like I said, whatever they want to do, all that kind of stuff. I just want the killing to stop.
Yeah, I know.
And this goes towards Iraq, Yemen, all of it. I want all the killing to stop.
Yes.
We need to stop.
Me too. It's
horrible.
horrible.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thank you very much for tuning in, and we can't wait till we see you again in about a week or so.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely. And keep your eyes on the prize. Something's going to happen. See you in 2 and 2. Watch it. Don't trust the government.